What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Stephen Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. All right, guys, listen up. I know this is kind of a last-minute live. I told you guys I was kind of going to be alternating, so if you don't catch it live, don't worry about it, guys. Whenever you guys can get to the content is the point of me putting it out there for you. No problem if you're catching it on the replay, guys. So yesterday, when I did my film breakdown, I talked about miscommunication on the defense. And as I was kind of talking back and forth with Jalen a little bit, I thought Jalen, he kind of brought up a pretty big point, which I thought was, I think it's worth mentioning again. Jalen said, hey, I think it goes beyond just a miscommunication problem. I think we had an issue with inexperience from the young guys, basically understanding and comprehending the basic principles of our coverage schemes. And that was a brilliant point because I got to agree with them. Definitely, when you look at some of the film I was showing you guys yesterday, you can see guys like, Sidney Jones and Rasul Douglas and some of these other guys that were just really, even Ronald Darby got caught up in it. So where they really didn't understand the basic principles of the coverage scheme. And they were getting caught constantly being out of place anytime there was any kind of wrinkle from the offense to where, someone like Rodney McLeod had to go down and cover a receiver or come down and play inside the slot, right? Then you would see that these guys would fail to recognize, like, oh, crap, like my responsibility in this coverage has changed. Now I'm supposed to be the guy that comes back over the top and bails out. That was a problem, man. Like, hopefully if there was anything you guys took away from it, it was the frustration I was feeling watching the video. And believe me, guys, I only showed you 3 examples of it. And I can tell you right now, there was almost 1 to 2 examples at least in every single game I ran film on last year. And I watched film on 10 separate games from last season. So, I mean, it was certainly a systemic issue with the young guys. It's a little concerning, but at the same time, maybe a little bit of relief because while it is a concern, I guess the relief would be is that Unlin is no longer here. Unlin's gone. Now we're reigning in a new era of a new secondary coach. So I'm hoping that some of these fundamental errors by the young guys of not understanding the basic core principles of our coverage scheme starts to get, reshaped again. Hopefully that gets kind of ironed out and fixed because we just can't have guys out there that anytime we switch off on a coverage where now that individual's responsibility has changed, that they lack such nuance to the scheme that they don't know what their responsibility is. And then you were sitting there, I'm breaking down film and I'm watching the film and I'm watching the entire middle of the field wide open. I mean, it was, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It was really frustrating to run film on that because all I kept doing was getting angrier and angrier at the rate at which it was happening. Look, every team's susceptible to this. It happens to everybody at some point, and you might even have one bad game where there's multiple, issues of this happening. If this was only in the Minnesota game, guys, I think I'd have been okay. But the problem was, is the more I kept running the film, the more I kept watching it, I realized real quickly it wasn't just the Minnesota game. It started off in week 1, which I was like, okay, I could kind of dismiss week 1, right? Like first game of the regular season, getting the jitters out of you, da-da-da-da. Then I ran film of Atlanta. I'm like, crap, it's happening again. Then I ran film of Detroit. And I'm like, crap, it's happening again. It kept compounding and repeating, guys, to where it was like, oh boy, like, I'm not saying there's not mitigating circumstances at times. We certainly suffered our share of injuries again last year, but not to the catastrophic amount that Corey Underlin had to kind of, hold the ship together in 2018. So I can't really give him a pass on that this past season. It was just simply put, round 1 of these videos I'm putting out to you guys was simply put, young guys really not getting it, not understanding what's happening. Jeez, Charles Smith, bro. Thank you for the super chat, man. You're the man, bro. Charles Smith said, Gate City, thank you for the hard work put in for this project. We appreciate all that you do, and we are glad you're an equal content creator. Charles, man, I love you guys to death, man. I'm always here trying to do whatever I can do for you guys. And look, it's the off season, Charles. I really wanted to dive into this because you opened my eyes up to a few things as I started running the film. That's what took me so long to get around to it is my viewpoint was shifting on things. And it's really hard as a content creator to walk a line when I know my viewpoint's being skewed and it's being shifted. And I don't know if you caught some of it, Charles, and that's why you asked me to do it, or if it was a guess at it, but you picked a heck of a topic, Charles. Stephen Joyce, what's good, buddy? Brad Wright, you have a brilliant football mind. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, man. Gate City, was Brandon Boykin good? I thought he was pretty good in the slot. It was a couple of years ago. I'd have to really break down film on him again to give you a conclusive answer. But I mean, from my naked eye watching him, I thought he was a really good slot, corner back in the day. The Philly Talk podcast. What's good, Mike? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, the revolving door in the youth definitely showed. I think we paying more man. I think we're playing more man this year, but we definitely figured out the communication on the back end. Yeah, man. I mean, it was frustrating, Mike. I mean, it was just like repeatedly happening, and it was like I was getting angrier and angrier as I was recording it in Vic 3's favorite book here. As I was recording it in my book, I was just getting more and more upset about it because I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, how could this be happening and the coach is not, be all over these players? I mean, luckily, someone did point out a fact that I thought was I think it's worth mentioning here in this live. Someone did say that, Malcolm did go to Schwartz and say, hey, man, we got to simplify this defense because these guys don't quite understand the basic principles. So, I mean, at least on that level of Malcolm Jenkins, the leadership was there to say, hey, man, like, these kids aren't getting the core principles. We got to back down on this a little bit here. So, at least that part of it was there. Cujo and friends said, love your film breakdowns. Appreciate you, bro. Charles Smith said, that's why I'm the best not reporting on the Eagles. Good eye, Charles. It was a really good eye, man. You really opened my eye up to how bad the situation was. In a million years, had you told me this, man, I mean, like if we were having a conversation back and forth, Charles, and you were like, yo, Gate, I'm telling you, the young guys did not understand the basic tenets of our defense. I'd have been like, nah, they understood the basic tenets, man. They just, game speed, catching up, Then I went and rolled film and I was like, oh my gosh, like, no, they didn't. They didn't understand the basic tenets of our defense. Like, this is not acceptable. I'm going to put this out there, and I don't know if this is true. My gut instinct is that while Corey Underling got a promotion to go to Detroit, I almost feel like it was probably a good thing he did because I just can't see as a coach how you come back from your film looking that bad. If I was a D coordinator, I would have to have words with you about how bad your position group was playing because it was clearly the Achilles heel of the defense. I mean, as much as we gripe about the linebackers, and rightfully so, because there's a lack of talent at the linebacker position. I mean, we drafted some guys I think have potential, but we don't have any kind of real stars along that linebacking core. I don't think the linebacking core was even remotely our Achilles heel last year. I think it was the secondary. The secondary really looked awful on film, guys. I mean, it was frustrating to keep back and watching it. And I kept thinking to myself, like, oh, like, let me just divide it out. I'll do plays of like greater than 15 yards. That'll really bring down the amount of plays I got to study. And then I'm sitting here 12 pages in on notes because there's that many plays that were getting broke on us last year, 15 yards or greater. And then I'm trying to filter through the plays I'm writing down. I'm trying to filter through air yards. So I'm trying to filter through not like a dump off on a screen, but an actual pass that's going down 15, 20 yards down the field to see what the heck's happening there. And it was like, man, I could write a book on Corey Underling. It's called, hey, don't leave the middle of your defense open. That's what it felt like, man. It was just, guys, it was ridiculous to see it on film. I don't know if you guys can tell how frustrated I am, but I'm telling you, the frustration's real. I can't see any way that Markin Manuel could be that bad, that he would have his players looking that bad out there. And I think the front office, to their credit, I think they really realized just how bad the secondary was. Because the one thing I will say for them is, while they may not have attacked the secondary like we kind of would have wanted in the draft, they did kind of attack it with guys that are not necessarily vested vets. I mean, these aren't 10-year players, but they did go and attack it with guys that have experience in the league that might understand a little more with the fundamental principles of a defense. To me, it looked like that was a bit of a priority for the Eagles, in my opinion. Eagles be rocking. What's good, buddy? What's good, Gate and crew? Been watching the Birds enough centuries to know better than to expect too much from our secondary. Hopefully, new coaching will show promise. I think Eagles be rocking. Some of us have been spoiled throughout the years because I grew up like I was born in the 80s. I was born in 83. I don't remember much about the Buddy Ryan era outside of the personality of Buddy Ryan. Okay. I really came to life during the Eric Allen and the Bobby Taylor years of the Eagles. And then I got, really got into it with Troy Vincent and then, Lito Shepherd and those guys all the way down to Asante Samuel. Like, I just think that maybe guys like me, maybe we just been spoiled for so long with such great secondary play from the Eagles that, we're just blind or slow to catch up to things sometimes when it comes to the secondary. We're a little more willing to kind of maybe turn that blind eye, I think, to an extent. Jalen Williams, what's good, bro? I was just talking about you a little bit earlier, man. Taekwon Fortune, what's good, man? I've been good, bro. How about you, man? 1987, 1983, bro. Like I said, guys, I was a little too young to really remember the Buddy Ryan era. I remember the personality. I remember all that stuff. But to be quite honest, I was just a little kid, you know what I'm saying, when Buddy was actually coaching. What was it? Bud Foster, I think, was really the D coordinator back then to kind of carry through with Kotite. That was a different era. It was quite the Buddy Ryan era. But those defenses that I remember, like the first year or two that Kotite was there, he had some really good defenses. And then we kind of got bit by the free agency bug. And I think free agency, I would love to make a video about this, but my theory is, without studying it, guys, is that free agency in 93 is what eroded the Eagles' great defense of the late 80s, early 90s. That's my opinion. Although I still think with guys like Bobby Taylor benefited somewhat from free agency, bringing in guys like Troy Vincent, stuff like that. But yeah. Philly Fan D said Eric Allen was probably our best corner I ever saw. Eric Allen was really good. I would put Troy Vincent right there with him. Troy Vincent, for me, was the best technician of any of the corners I watched personally. The kid he just knew how to play the position. What's up, Cardboard Carolina? Yo, you never called me back, you shithead. My bad, man. I saw it later on, Jerry, but I'm actually working in the garden, so by the time I saw it, bro, it was like 7 something. But I'll try to hit you back tomorrow, man. All right. This is what I'll say, guys. What is your biggest concern as you look at the secondary? And we're sitting here, guys. What is your biggest concern about our secondary right now? Is it Jim Schwartz properly utilizing Darius Slay and carrying him with the number 1 receiver? Is it who in the heck is playing opposite of Darius Slay? Is it what happens if anything happens with McLeod? Where are we getting depth at free safety? Where is the overall depth in general? Like what are your, what I'm saying? Like, what is your major concern, guys, when it comes to the secondary? Let me read a couple here. Philly Fan D, Bud Carson. Eagles were good D with Buddy, but Carson got the best out of them. Yeah, I think Buddy was really good at identifying the talent and building it. But yeah, Carson coached it. Yeah, he coached it out of him. Sexy Vegan said strong safety. Eagles be rocking said no doubt. Fan D, love the pick with Seth Joyner, Seth, Jerome, Allen, Reggie, and Clyde. Yeah, that was an all-time great defense, guys. I mean, we're talking probably one of the best defenses in NFL history. It's up there. I don't know if I'd say it's the best, but it's certainly up there. I mean, it's kind of hard because some, obviously advanced stats weren't really kept that late back. And even like some of the more generic stats like sacks weren't really kept until like some part of it. I think it was like 80 something is when he started tracking the sacks and stuff. So Eagles, we got a couple guys here. Coconut 73, what is good, man? Taekwon Fortune said Sidney Jones is his concern. I hear you. I love the fact that he's actually out there putting in work and working out. But I mean, he's only had 73 actual snaps on defense. I mean, I'll say this: in man coverage in those very limited snaps, he's looked good. We're just gonna have to see. I agree with you, Taekwon Fortune. We're gonna have to see what happens there, man. Eagles be rocking. Secondary concern is speed and athletic ability. Speed, I think we had. Nikel Roby-Coleman's a runner. Avante Maddox is a burner. Darius Slay's got some speed. Like, I definitely think we got speed. I'm a little more concerned with it's piecing all these things together, I guess, would be my concern. So it's how do we piece it together? Because we got big guys that can get physical, Eagles be rocking, but are they going to marry well to the role of hey, when we get down around the red zone, taking a Will Parks, taking a Jalen Mills, taking a Kavon Wallace, and taking a we can even take Rodney McLeod and moving them outside to cover more physical, bigger receivers. I think all those guys have the capabilities, but how does it marry together? You know what I mean? Like, are they going to really cling to that role and like that role? Takeem said, "Good evening. What's good, bro? How you doing, man?" Cardboard Carolina gang green. Well, Jerry, you're a couple years older than me, so you probably have a little more knowledge of that one. But to me, I was just too young, bro. I remember more about Tecmo's Super Bowl than, to be honest, about like Buddy Ryan. I mean, I remember the personality and you know what I mean, like just the attitude around the city. But I mean, I was a little too young to really fully grasp it. Although I do remember, Jerry, I don't know if you remember when Dad took us to training camp that year, the first year we signed Ricky Waters, and we went to training camp that year. I do remember that. Big Moose said, "I'd like to see what Trevor Williams can do at the second corner position. If he can stay healthy, it's his to win." He interests me, Big Moose, but I do get concerned when we're talking about lower body injuries and skilled position players. As fast as that athleticism can come, it can quickly go. I'm a little concerned there, but I definitely think he's a guy that could sneak up on people. I think he could sneak up and really be something that people aren't expecting to see. Jason Wall, what's good, bro? How you doing, buddy? Sorry, guys, I'm scrolling through. Oh, Jason, you ain't got a wrench? Are you serious? Hold on, let me grab my phone, man. I'm gonna wrench you up. Discipline is the issue. Discipline and knowledge, Taekwon. A lot of issues with just understanding the basic tenets of what they're supposed to do in certain coverage situations. It was a little frustrating to watch it on film, guys, play out, just because I didn't think the situation was as bad as it actually was. And it was rightfully so for Charles Smith for pointing it out. It was bad. It was definitely bad. All right, guys, hang on. I'm turning it on my phone now so I can wrench a few people up. Jason, I can't believe you ain't got a wrench, man. As soon as it loads, guys, I got you. Jason Wall, I got you, bro. I got you. You need a wrench. Philly Talk Podcast was good, my guy. Yo, what's poppin'? Daniel, how you doing, bro? Don't sleep on TJ Edwards this season. I'm not sleeping on TJ Edwards because TJ Edwards is a very good run stopper. I'm more concerned when it comes to TJ Edwards. It's more so can he manage, the full course load, if you will, when it comes to pass cover. Not a handful of plays, but can he be the guy consistently in and out on every down? That those type of things concern me about TJ Edwards with the athleticism. But the kid really reads. Like, he's not the fastest guy. He just really reads and diagnoses the plays well, so his anticipation is top notch. And I was impressed with the kid, man. He definitely impressed me. All right, Jason Wall. You're good, bro. You're wrenched up, man. All right, guys. Taekwon said, "What's good, Mike?" You got a lot of "What's up, Mikes?" Sexy Vegans talking, the matchups. Eagles be rocking. I got you, bro. All right, Eagles be rocking. You got a wrench, buddy? What's going on? Show enough 215. What's good, bro? Joshua, I got you, bro. All right, Joshua, you got a wrench, man. Philly Talk said the best not reporting on the Eagles. Charles is, bro. Charles catches some interesting things, man. He's definitely got me interested in this topic. That's why I decided to make an entire almost documenting series here, because it's been crazy, man. I think, okay, let me get to Jason's comment here. I think we see Rodney McLeod step up big in a leadership role. I think he steps up in the vacuum left by Malcolm Jenkins. I got what you meant, man. All right, so Takeem said Nate Gary's going to get the most snaps at linebacker. TJ Edwards isn't a cover linebacker. Yeah, that would be the thing he needs to illustrate to me as well, Takeem, is that he can cover. Daniel Miner said Davion Taylor really intrigues me as to where he's going to line up, as well as Duke Riley. A lot of athleticism, Daniel, on the team. I mean, between Duke Riley, he can run. You got Duke Riley. You got the kid we signed from San Diego, Jatavis Brown. He's a runner. You got Davion Taylor's a runner. Sean Bradley can move around pretty well in the field. Like, we definitely got athleticism at the linebacker position. I'm just worried about, can we get physical with teams if we need to? Joshua said, "Fly, Eagles, fly." I hear you, brother. Eagles be rocking Jim's scheme has got to change. Uh, it's going to be hard to change it up. I'm wondering how much we're going to see, like Eagles be rocking. My curiosity is what changes on the back end and coverage, because I think that's where things really need to change is on the back end and coverage. You're good, man. No, nowhere Eagles be rocking. Can I get a wrench, fam? I got you, Big Moose. Philly Talk Podcast. I got you, bro. He said, we always on together. That's why. Mike, you ain't got a wrench? Are you serious? All right, bro. You got a wrench, Mike. How do you not have a wrench? Cardboard Carolina, I appreciate you, bro. If you guys don't know, Cardboard Carolina is my older brother. That's why he's calling me a little bro. Takeem said, sorry, guys, a lot of Wills linebackers on the roster, not too many true Sams or Mikes on the roster. Good observation. That's true. That's actually really true. I'm wondering about the flexibility of some of the guys. I trust that some of these guys can step in and play the Mike role. I do wonder about the Sams. I mean, we've really hid that issue for a long time, right? Because we've had guys that can step in and easily fill it, which is nice. Sticks defense sucks too. Nobody's a fan of that Sticks defense, man. I'm not even going to try to convince anyone on Sticks defense, guys. I'm not even going to try to do that. I will say this: there's a time and a place for every call. You know what I mean? It just feels like to me is that Jim Schwartz sometimes loses imagination and relies on it a little too much instead of just, you got a 3rd and 20 something. By all means, okay, play stick defense. But it just feels like sometimes there's certain games where he falls on it like every 3rd down. It feels like we're playing sticks. Bloody Shot HVAC 22. What up, bro? How you doing, man? Jason Wallace said, I think Taylor and Bradley are getting to be huge. Gary can't play the mic. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I know they like Nick Gary a lot, man. Who knows, man? I don't know where to put the kid. I'm not overly optimistic about him, Jason, with the missed tackle rate. When you're missing like 16% of tackles you're supposed to be in on, I get a little scared because I can explain away some metrics for players and say like, okay, like sometimes it is like down in distance and like, the course of a game, things that happen can skew a stat a little bit, but I can't see a guy that played as many snaps as Gary where it skews you like 2 or 3 percentage points. Like that's a hard argument to make. You know what I mean? Like he concerns me out there. I know they like him a lot, but he definitely concerns me. My guy Philly Fresh in the chat, yo, that what Philly Mike said, laugh out loud. You don't have a wrench, Philly Fresh? All right, let me give my brother some wrenches here, man. All right, Philly Fresh, you got a wrench, bro. Yeah, Eagles be rocking, exactly, bro. 3rd and 15 is great for sticks. We get killed on it, though. Yeah, you got to have linebackers, right, and players that can come up and make the tackle. I think that's what we lack sometimes is guys that can actually come up and make the tackle. Not a blue dookie. Yeah. Charles is, he's a blue dookie, bro. He definitely is. What's up, my guy? How you doing, Steve? I'm good, Marcus. How are you, bro? Jalen said, does it worry you that we don't have a guy who knows how to take the ball away? I think Darius Slay can definitely take the ball away, but I would feel better if we had more of a ball hawk out there. I think Jalen Mills has the ball skills. He just hasn't had the opportunity yet. Yeah, I can see that becoming an issue, Jalen, if we can't create turnovers. I do think that creating turnovers, just like special teams play, is a bigger component to success than a lot of people realize. Sexy vegan, still don't know what the wrench means, but I have one. Sexy vegan, it just allows you to like narrate the comments, guys. Basically, like it gives you control over the chat. Joshua Mendoza, Gay City Sports Talk. I really appreciate your film breakdown. Not a lot of people understand football IQ. I appreciate you, Joshua, man. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up to some of these comments. Show Enough 215 said Jim's scheme will work better now that we have a decent secondary and more speed. Show Enough, that's my hope as well. It's the combination of things, right? That's what I'm hoping as well. Is when we take the combination of all these things, we get better results. That's what I'm hoping comes out of all this. I don't know, man. I always try to, you know what I'm saying? Stay there. Nah, Charles, my brother's definitely not a Duke fan. I don't think he's a State fan though either. I, Jerry, what are you? A Carolina fan, I think. Sexy Vegan said, still don't know what the red. Oh, okay, I read that one. Hang on. Let me skip down. Got a couple people saying, what's good to you, Fresh? I like Gary. His tackling has to get better, too. Yeah, I agree, man. Like, Eagles be rocking. I love the kid's attitude. I love the way he approaches the game. I love the fact that he can be trusted upon in certain situations. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that the kid is missing tackles out there left and right. Like, I'm hoping that, over time, maybe strengthen up that core, maybe he gets a little better. But I don't know. That brings up an interesting point. That would be an interesting film study to break down Gary's missed tackles and then go over why they're happening. But I want to say that until we get to the linebackers, because I got a lot of film to roll out this next 2 weeks on this situation in the secondary. Joshua said you can absolutely fix tackling. So Show Enough 215 is saying you don't really need a Mike in Jim Schwartz's defense, just guys who can run and cover. True, except for some teams will attack us. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to have a guy when we're being attacked to really get in there and actually know how to read and get through those holes and shut them down. I think that's where TJ Edwards showed that he had a really good ability. I mean, what TJ Edwards did it at Buffalo, I thought was really impressive. I thought his film against Buffalo was really, really impressive, especially for a young kid like that. I thought he really stepped up and played a pretty big role there. So Jason said the linebacker position is changing. Remember how the Bucs revolutionized the position? Yeah, that's Tampa too. With speed to the Eagles, I like Taylor for the Mike as a downhill middle. I like Davion Taylor in a similar role to Derek Brooks, right? A guy that has that speed, has that athleticism to disrupt the defense. Now, is he going to be able to stack and shed blocks? I don't know. We'll have to see, you know what I'm saying? We'll have to see how that all kind of works out. Joshua said, I think quarterbacks are better. Therefore, less random ducks in the air. Yeah, it's true. Nate Gary's going to definitely step up in this new defense. Nate Gary's a very, very good coverage, linebacker. Romy One said, what's good, Gate City? What's going on, my guy? Sorry, guys. If I'm missing your comments, I'm trying to get to them all, guys. This thing really does jump. These guys that do this can tell you, man. Sometimes it really jumps around. I just saw a comment about Mills I want to hit up here, guys. Oof, man, it's up here. All right. Mills is going to be making plays, and Will Parks will be making plays with the 3 safety package. Yeah, Takeem, that big nickel is going to make a difference. I don't think we're going to see guys looking like Sendejo was looking out there. Sendejo opening up the middle of the field in Atlanta, that was a frustrating play to watch because Atlanta watched him do it one time and went right back after him again. It's just frustrating to see these guys making some of these mistakes, man. Because these are things that, especially a guy like Sendejo, who's a veteran, you shouldn't be making these types of mistakes. And yet, I understand why they let him go. I get it. I completely understand why they let him go. The time they let him go, I was kind of scratching my head a little bit like, I mean, what do we really have in the tank? I mean, why are we, but I get it after watching the film. I'd have let him go too, to be honest. Jalen said, is it safe to say our base D is officially a 4-2-5? We still do see some 43 out there, Jalen, but I mean, we almost run nickel as our base at this point. I mean, almost every team in the league does it at this point. But yeah, I kind of like where you're going with the 4-2-5. Yeah, the big nickel kind of look. Yeah, I could see that. Because we got, we have those safeties that are basically playing that rover role. So yeah, I could see that. I could see the justification for that. McLeod Show Enough said McLeod is a ball hawk, not top tier, but he's always around the tip passes. Yeah, my main question with Show Enough with McLeod is did the slight dip off in athleticism from McLeod, did that stem from, there's a lot of things that cause that to happen, but did that stem from him recovering from injury, or is it just age starting to slowly dwindle those abilities? That's my bigger question with him. Philly Fan D said, did you see a surprising corner get cut? Do you see a surprising corner getting cut? Philly Fan D, I think if Sidney Jones just doesn't play good and just isn't right, he could be on a chopping block. I think it is very unlikely to occur, but it could occur. But I would say the most obvious candidate would be Rasul Douglas, because when you're asked to restructure a rookie contract and not for your better, not for the betterment of yourself, but for the betterment of the team on a rookie contract, I would say that they don't have a whole lot invested in you. And that was Eagles beat Rockins point right below you was Rasul might get cut. He might get cut, or maybe they'll smarten up and maybe move him to safety. Who knows? I can see either happening. I hope he's not a turd heel. I don't know, Charles. I think he is, man. Jalen said, "What's up, Fresh?" Big Moose said, "I like the Wyoming linebacker. I think he has a chance." Yeah, you're talking about Olsen. Olsen is a bit like TJ Edwards. I don't know if he's quite as athletic, though, as TJ Edwards. I mean, look, I mean, everyone should. I think until they put pads on, it's just really hard to tell with some of these guys. Philly fan D is saying, "I still don't get why Rasul isn't moved to safety. You know, safety or at least a nickel. Put him in the nickel as a bigger, stronger nickel guy. I mean, he's better inside than he is on the outside." Eagles has Landis at Gate City Sports. If you were Howie Roseman, would you trade for Joe Thuney or just ride with Matt Pryor? That's a really, really difficult question. Eagles has landed on me for a couple of different factors. Number one, Joe Thuney is an NC State guy. I'm an NC State guy. I would love to add all the NC State guys. I think Joe Thuney is a very, very good left guard. The problem I have is looking at it with like moving Seomalu or moving Thuney to the right guard. Are they strong enough to anchor there? Now, I will say this. Getting Joe Thuney next year or this year with the intention of next year makes a lot of sense to me, because Thuney would fill right in and I think play very well for the Eagles at left guard. Then you got Seomalu going over to center. And then you got Pryor, or you got whoever you got, you know what I mean, at right guard. Hopefully, I'm really hoping Brandon Brooks comes back. It's just hard to recover from a second Achilles injury, especially when it's on the opposite foot. So, I mean, we'll see how that works out for the young man. I wish the young man the best, but those things, they can take a guy down. I do have faith in Pryor. I think Pryor can play guys, but I would add a veteran. I'm more scared about the depth. We really lack depth right now, I think, at the line. And it's not that necessarily we lack complete depth, because some of these young guys we just don't know yet. But that uncertainty, I think, is a big deal given the circumstances of this offseason. I think this offseason makes it more challenging than many other off seasons would have been resolving this particular situation. Because I think if you had camps and stuff, you would know what you had in some of these guys already. All right. What up, Fresh? Taekwon said he's too little. There would be about 30 missed tackles for Gary at this level. Tackling shouldn't need to be taught. I know no player is perfect, though. I think you can teach him the more of the fundamentals of the game, Eagles be rocking, not necessarily the technique of wrapping up and tackling, but how to approach the tackle, how the angles you take, right? Sometimes I just think he gets lost in his responsibility at times in the running game. He also needs to add strength, man, because I don't think he's the best at stacking and shedding those blocks. But I honestly don't know Gary's physical measurements, so I don't know if he's got an issue with the length. So I don't know if he's just a short-armed guy, so that way it's causing him to struggle with stacking those defenders and then shedding them. I would have to really look into something like that and really break that down. Showing Up 215 said, I honestly think Gary and Bradley will be our starting linebackers if we don't resign Bradham. Bradham could be a real possibility, Showing Up, to be quite honest. Watching on the 60-inch, you're lucky, bro. I can't say I got a 52-inch up above the fireplace myself, but rocking on that real big screen, I see little Jerry. Yeah, Tooney's going to cost money. I just saw that comment. I'm gonna get to it, guys. I'm gonna try to get through this a little quicker. Philly Notion coming through with the $1.99 donation. Gate City Sports Talk got the fire emojis going on. Bye Corey Underlin. Loved it. Hey, appreciate you, Philly Notion. If you guys have not, if you guys are looking for more Eagles content creators, you want to get a different kind of perspective, a guy that I think is pretty good at this YouTube thing, even though he's pretty young into it. I really like his content personally. Check out Philly Notion, guys. You should give him a view, man. He's pretty good, guys. I like his content a lot. Douglas might have to switch to safety. Yeah, I think that could be a real possibility. Rasul Douglas is gone. With McLeod, I think it's a combination of both. With Mount gone, maybe more 2-3 or 4-3 looks. 2-3. What the hell is a 2-3 look? 4-3 look. Yo, what up? We got what up, guys? Eagle season in the house. Taylor reminds me of Cam Chancellor. That dude can be physical, but not the 235 linebacker plus kind. I agree. So Jason said, sorry, but you do need a Mike in the wide 9, spreading the line and running stunts. You need a gap coverage linebacker who can get to the edges too. Jason, I think we get away with a lot because of the play of our defensive tackle, to be honest. I really do think we get away with a heck of a lot. But, that's not going to live on forever. Joshua Mendoza said, I really like Bradley starting for us, has a high understanding of what the job is and knows how to tackle. Jalen said, Taylor isn't butting up a guard in the middle, but he can get busy with the tight end. Yeah, that's my fear too, is that offensive lineman getting to the second level with Gary could be a little scary. Hit that like button, everybody, please. Eagles be rocking. Philly Talk said, couple late nights. I'm out. Got to be up tomorrow at 5. Ooh, dang, Mike. All right, bro. I appreciate you, brother. Bradley over Edwards. I think it's more about fits. I think Edwards is a more natural Mike. I think Bradley can play the Mike, but I think Bradley could be special at the will, man. What I saw from Bradley on film at the will was pretty exceptional in college. It kind of shocked me there with how good he was playing. All right, so Jason said, or was McLeod left on an island in single high while MJ was playing in the box as a river too often? No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Malcolm Jenkins played back in single high as well. Jason, I'm going to get to all that over the course of this whole entire study, guys. I'm going to tackle all these type of questions. But I mean, McLeod and Jenkins both kind of rotated there. To be quite honest, McLeod played down more in the box than I thought. And I also saw one play in particular I want to bring up when I get to the McLeod question on my series of videos. I love the design of what they did. They took McLeod and moved him outside. And they did a bracket coverage with McLeod down in a press, and then they blanketed the receiver, which I thought was really creative. I really liked that coverage a lot. Eagle Season is a well guy. He's a content creator guy. You should check him out. You guys get a chance, check him out. Rasul can tackle. Safety may suit him better. I know everyone knows this. Yeah, I would move, like I said, either nickel or putting at safety. I think he could play a big nickel as well. Philly Notion said, you made me feel better with that last vid, cerebral fashion. Appreciate you, bro. Rover, I know what you meant, Jason. It's not a big deal. I know exactly what you were talking about. It's not a big deal. Yeah, but Rasul over Mills or McLeod. I think it's more so when you're mishmatching the coverages. And it's also like my biggest concern is if McLeod needs a breather, if McLeod gets injured, turns his ankle over. Outside of Avante Maddox, who else do we have that can play over the top? I mean, Will Parks, I think, could do it, but I think we got to see him in that role to kind of know. I think it's a bit of a question mark. So Philly Notion said, salute to Eagle season. Congrats on the hundo, getting over 100 subscribers. Big deal, man. Tooney, about $12 million cat. Good, though. Yeah, he's a good player, and he's going to cost money if we go get him. And that's a good point Eagles be rocking, which is the cap space. How do we fit it? Takeem said Eagles are pretty strong at safety and nickel / slot corner. Rasul Douglas is getting traded. Yeah, traded, or we'll see what happens. I don't think he's on the team either, Takeem, to be honest. Thanks, Notion. We in the road to 200. You guys keep rocking. You'll get there. Y'all keep putting in that work. You guys are going to get there. Definitely not Rasul over McLeod. Mills has to perform. Salute. Let's get it. Philly Notion and Eagle season going back with each other here. Joshua Mendoza said, I agree. I think we let Mills show us what he can do before giving it up to someone else. So show enough. Sorry, show enough. It just skipped down on me, bro. Philly Fan D with the super chat. Sorry, Philly Fan D. I just noticed it, man. Sending in that $2.99. I appreciate you, brother. Awesome content. This has been my sports fix. Hey, I'm glad to provide it, Philly Fan D, man. Y'all keep me going too, guys. This has been one of the best decisions I ever made to start a YouTube channel talking about football. All right, guys, let me catch up here. Shonoff said Gary is a safety. Only the Eagles use players out of position. I think we get away with it with Gary just because we play that rover role anyways, and he does seem like a natural fit as a rover. He's just got to get better. He's got to get better on the tackling issue. Jalen said if we add an O lineman, I would want Long first. Yeah, I like Long a lot too. Mostly because I know the family. You know what I'm saying? Like we know the family, we know the fit. He's a tough, grinder down there in the trenches. He's just injury prone. That's the big issue I have with him. But to be honest, I don't think it's a guy that you got to get 16 games out of. You know what I mean? Because he is versatile and he fits the scheme. After him, go for Watford or Warford, and then because he is solid and he plays well, you can get pretty good comp pick. Yeah, I like Warford a lot too. Watkins is going nowhere. I'm not super high on Bradley. So Daniel, why don't you like Bradley, man? I think he might shock some people in camp, man. He's super instinctive, actually, on the running game. I thought he was really good. Actually. Philly Notion, salute my guy. 34 people in here, 20 likes. Everybody hit that like button. Appreciate you, Philly Notion. Ewing 609, what's good, bro? Guys, I'm trying to get through these comments so I get everybody's. Eagle Season said, who do you think should be our weak side linebacker? I would probably start camp out with it being Duke Riley, fighting with Jatavis Brown, but I would definitely give Bradley a look. I would give Bradley an opportunity and a look as well. Charles Smith said Takeem Hilton, Avery is secure. He didn't play much last season by design. They played him because they had no choice. He is key to what their plans are in the future. Charles, he's an interesting guy to me too. I don't know what's going to happen there, but we'll see what goes down, man. Eagles be rocking. You know how Temple is with the single digit crazy numbers. Bradley got to be something special. They thought highly of him. Yeah, they did. I thought he stood out a little bit on film, man. I mean, I wasn't high on him pre-draft, but post-draft, when I actually got a chance to really see his film, I was like, wow, this kid, like, he's not guaranteed a spot, guys. By no stretch of the imagination am I saying that. He's a kid I feel like could turn heads in camp. Joshua said MJ was the try-hard stud that never missed a game and will be missed. Yes, durability is a big factor, and I agree with that statement. He was out here blocking field goals. Even think Mills will have do you think Mills have the same impact? I think he'll be better on the underneath coverage stuff. I don't know about the same impact, man. That's a tough question, Daniel or Joshua. That's a really tough question. The biggest thing in my opinion, with Malcolm Jenkins is the leadership thing. You got to find a void for the leadership. I'm not saying that void won't be filled, but I don't know who it is yet. Daniel said, I think his best quality is his speed and leadership. I would love to keep the guy around on special teams, and he could be a good backup. I just don't see him being I don't think he'll necessarily be a starter like year one, but I think he's a developmental guy that has that kind of upside to him. So Jalen said, how often did teams take advantage of our linebackers versus the pass? They sat down in zones a little bit on us. Jalen, a lot of people, I'm going to get to that topic. Some teams were really creative and unique in the way they attacked the linebackers in zone. I didn't see a whole lot of individual matchups, though, with our linebackers. And I do think that when we played things like sticks defense, we lacked the athleticism to go up there and make the tackle on some of these guys. And that was an issue. Lawrence James, I appreciate the super chat, my guy. What's going on, guys? How you doing, man? What's going on, Lawrence? You good, bro? Hang on, Lawrence. I just saw your other comment, man. Mod your boy up, bro. I got you, Lawrence. I didn't know I hadn't made you a moderator yet, man. All right, sir. You have your wrench, sir. Vaughn215, Bradley is going to be a monster. Just watch. I'm hoping, Vaughn. I'm hoping, bro. We need somebody to be a monster. That's for sure. Eagles be rocking. Knowledgeable crew in here, too. Kind of cool to not be discussing Cowboys. Yes, that's one of the great things I like about our community. Is I do feel like we do have a good group of guys with a diverse, set of knowledge in here. Guys that played O-line, some guys that have played, in the secondary. I've had conversation with guys. Like, I love the fact of the community that has been built here and just how knowledgeable this community is. Philly Fan D, appreciate you, bro. Trying to hit that like button. Von215 with the yo-yo. Mills is a baller. Nickel or safety. He will make plays, just not at cornerback. I think he's a good backup guy at cornerback, but yeah, I think it's a good idea to bounce him inside. Sure enough, I agree with that. Gates is the best at responding to the crew. Smash that like button. Appreciate you. Eagles be rocking. Where the hell is the water boy? Someone get the God City Steve some fluids from reading and answering all these high speeds. Appreciate you, bro. I got a little bit here, man. I'm trying to keep up. All right, guys, let me scroll down a little bit. Guys, I'm trying to make sure I get every super chat, man. Y'all let me know and yell at me if I miss one like that, all right? I don't ever want to miss super chat because that's really messed up to miss one. Milk can't be replaced overnight. Young cats will step up soon for us. Good point. Good point. Jalen said, I'm not that high on Bradley either. He didn't flash to me, but he was efficient, though. But I thought Aaron Curry was going to be Patrick Wills. So what do I know? Jalen, I think it depends on where they were playing him. I thought he was a different guy at the will. I don't think he was like the greatest guy ever at the mic. I think he's got the abilities there, but he flashed more to me at the will than he did at Mike at the mic position. Philly Notion said, Gate City Sports, how do you feel about our special teams this year? I think they're getting slept on. Thoughts? Is Jake Elliott a lock? I hope special teams takes a step forward. I do think Jake Elliott is probably going to be a lock because I just don't think we really brought in a lot of camp. I don't know if he brought in any competition, to be real, but certainly didn't bring in anyone that's crossed my radar yet to take his spot. I like the potential of our special teams because we got a lot of guys with a lot of experience and an ability to break things. Someone brought up about asking me, Philly Notion, to do a breakdown on special teams. I'm probably not going to be able to get to that for a while, but if some of you guys have got channels out here, if y'all want to take up the mantle on that, man, I can tell you right now, I'll be glad to watch that myself because I think that is a really good topic. Takeem Hilton said Rudy Ford was the Eagles special teams ace at safety, and Marcus Epps got a decent amount of playing time in the secondary. After Sendejo was released, any chance they secure a spot on the defense? Very good question, Takeem. I think the real question is do we go 5 safeties? Might we go 5 corners and 5 safeties with the versatility we have in our safeties to be able to play outside? I think that could be a possibility, Takeem. Sorry, guys, it's bouncing on me. I'm trying to catch back up. All right. Yes, sir. Good looking out. No problem, Lawrence. You're my guy, bro. You know that. Rudy Ford was nice. I liked Rudy Ford a lot as well. It seemed like the Eagles were pretty high on those 2 guys as well, too. The Eagles really liked Rudy Ford when they brought him in. And the Eagles were really high on that kid from the Vikings as well that they brought in. Not Sendejo, the young kid, that we basically exchanged with the Vikings. We gave them back Sendejo and took the young kid. Shown up 215 said, I think Mills will take the leadership role more than Malk now that Malk is gone. Yeah, I think he's a vocal guy. We'll see. I mean, someone's got to fill the vacuum, right? Someone's got to step up. I agree. Bradley definitely not a Mike. Not yet, anyway. He's got some development to go there. I knew what you meant, man. It's all good, bro. Jake Elliott got an extension, so yeah, he's gonna definitely be around more than likely. Sorry, bounced me up, not down. What the heck? Sorry, guys, I'm catching back up again. Elliott is a lock. Daniel Miner, if the Green Goblin can get back to that 2017 form, the secondary is going to be a no-fly zone. Daniel, that's what we're all hoping for, sir, is that we can actually start locking teams down because, let's be real, I hate Dallas, but I'm not going to play and act like they don't have talent at the receiving corps. I still think we're going to lock teams down. I think that the scheme is going to be better this year. And I think the individual players are going to be high on Will Parks, guys. What Will Parks did and look, I know Tyreek Hill was coming back from an injury and stuff like that. Tyreek Hill is still Tyreek Hill. For Will Parks to be able to keep up with that kind of speed and to shut it down, the kid caught my attention, man. He definitely caught my attention. Eagles B. Rockin said Elliott needs to become more clutch for us. Looked bad against Dallas when we really needed him. Show enough says special teams video is a waste of time, in my opinion. I mean, Field position, though, showing off. I mean, reversing the field position is a big deal. And I do think we got the talent there to do that. It's just, it's really hard to get to that video right now for me. I personally would watch someone if they really did a good breakdown on special teams play, but you got to get in. You got to know who's going to be your gunner. Like, it's hard to do that kind of video, man. It's, you got to really kind of know the actual, like, how to play special teams. And I got to be real with you. I was never big on special teams play. I was always trying to get myself out of it. Takeem said, I think the Eagles are going 5 safeties this year. I think that could be a real possibility. You can see 5 D backs, 5 safeties. Sorry, Jason. Let me go back up to your comment, bro. You know what sold me? This is where the cerebral Eagle fan comes for about. Yeah, that's a nice little catch line, isn't it? Big Moose said the cap situation in 2021 is very worrisome to me. We will be 50 million over the cap and potentially higher, pending on whether there's a season. What will this roster look like after this 2020 season? Big Moose, I think you're going to have some shakeup with the wide receiver position, and you're going to see those young guys will be filling in and playing those important roles. Whether they're ready or not, here it comes. So I definitely think that that's a very good point. Big Moose, I will have a video talking about the 2021 season before we finish the season out. I'm going to definitely get into that a little more. Jason Wall, I appreciate you, bro. Daniel said, do you consider Kevon Wallace a safety? Because I feel that he is an amazing nickel corner more than a traditional safety. I think he's both. I think he's a strong safety. He can play down as a nickel. I think he's got the ability in, like, the red zone and down on the goal line situations to bounce outside and cover bigger receivers. I think he's a very, diverse player. I think he's a guy that he can play multiple roles for a team. Charles Smith said, in my opinion, 2016 was Jalen Mills' best year. He had to cover some elite receivers that year and did the best considering how slow he was. Yeah, I think Jalen, when he's on his game, is really good. It's just that he's not always on his game, through the duration of a season. I think it's the bigger problem with him is the consistency aspect of it. All right, let me go back up a little bit, guys. Jalen said, what do you think about kicking the tires on Tremaine Johnson as a CB2? Could have been used wrong. Super lengthy, super talented when he's on his game, Jalen. It's the money. If he's willing to play for, like, a decent, like something we can afford, he's got talent. I don't think the kid lacks talent. I just think that Jets organization was a crapshoot for the last few years. And I think a lot of guys could have looked really bad in that organization. I like Tremaine Johnson a lot. I mean, I'm just going to be upfront and honest. I mean, Tremaine Johnson, I think, is one of those guys that, you bring him in here with the kind of length he has. He can come in, he can take care of guys like that. I'm more concerned about the money aspect of Tremaine Johnson. Like, could we afford him? I mean, that'd be my bigger concern with a player like him. Philly Notion said, I think Elliott, of course, will be there. But, oh, my God, I can't stand the missed easy points. Shaking my head. I miss David Akers. Jason Wall at Daniel Miner. Kayvon is going to be something different. Think Brian Westbrook of the defensive backfield. Yeah, kid's versatile, that's for sure. Philly Fan D, looking at the Redskins line, they got some great players there. Yeah, they do. They got talent on that D line. Can't take crap away from the Redskins in terms of that. They're definitely going to be HE double hockey sticks to block. Sorry, guys. They seem to be a little more sensitive on messing with us when it comes to the lives than they are when I curse inside of videos. They seem to never demonetize me for cursing in a video, but if I curse on a live, they like to put me as a limited. I don't know. Eagles B Rockin' said Mills was good in 2016. When he gets toasted, he comes right back to make a play. Yeah, he's got a short memory, which you have to have as a corner. You got to move on to the next play. There's nothing you can do about the play that just occurred. I mean, you got to move on. Make the play on the next one. That's an interesting comp, Jason. Eagles be rocking. It would be great for any player to be like Westbrook at anything. Yeah, pretty much, right? I don't care what it is. I'll take it. Takeem said Eagles safety depth chart. McLeod. McLeod. I came up with a third name for him. McLeod. Jalen Mills. Will Parks. Kayvon Wallace. Rudy Ford. Marcus Epps. Elijah Riley. I like how you put Elijah Riley at safety. I think the Eagles are going to try to keep hold of Elijah Riley on the practice squad at least. I like Elijah Riley a lot, Takeem. That's a kid that he's been on my radar for a while. There's going to be a video coming up on him. I can tell you that. Kid's physical, man, and he's got good instinct. That kid is really physical, and he played corner, guys, in college, but he's like 5'10", 5'11", 210-ish. Like, he can hit, man. He's an interesting guy. Interesting signing, in my opinion. Sorry, guys, it's all messing with me. It's going up and down and going crazy on me here. Jalen Mills, not slow. He just keeps getting burnt on double moves. Well, I mean, that's part of what we say when we're saying slow show enough. We're saying that he lacks the that quick twitch element, right? That reflex to recover quickly like that. I also don't think he's the greatest in a foot speed race guy. I mean, he's a upper 4.5 guy. I know he ran like a 4.6, but I do think at his best, he's a mid 4.55 to 4.57-ish kind of guy at his best. I don't think he's as slow as some people think, but I don't think that he's in that category with even I do think he's a little below average in the speed department. But I mean, the kid's a competitor. I mean, I don't care. Like, to me, give me a competitor. I can work with a competitor. Romy said, do you think this is a make or break year for Josh Sweat? I think it's a make or break year in terms of him maybe possibly being the second defensive end at one point. I mean, I think he's proven to be good enough to be your fourth defensive end in a rotation. This year, can he show to be the third defensive end in a rotation with some upside to be the number 2 guy? I mean, it's going to be important because if not, I think the Eagles they're going to be looking if they don't feel confident in him. Charles said Akers sucks. Haven't forgotten him since the Green Bay playoff game. He did make it up a little with the announcement of Dallas Goedert. I don't think Akers sucks, Charles, but I get your point. Akers had his own struggles at times too. DP, what's good, bro? How you doing, man? Eagles be rocking. Short memory is great for our corners because they all get toasted regularly. Hope that's over. Good point. Jalen said, does it concern you that we don't have a lot of picks and basically 0 projected comp picks next year? At least 8 to 10 guys on roster, right? 8 to 10 guys at least on roster from the draft picks. So 2021, before the draft, we had 38 players. If we can carry 6 to 8 guys, right? You know, that's going to bring you down to 44 to 46 players. So won't be as bad to get to a 53-man roster at that point. But then we got to keep in mind, you're going to be letting guys go like Alshon because of that contract. I just don't think he'll be back. I think Djax is really at risk for being cut because, you know, the money situation. You know, Marquise Goodwin I think, is probably unlikely to be back. You look at those guys, that's 3 receivers. That's 3 more guys. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of get where you're going with it. It definitely could become a problem. It's hard to project right now, though, man. I mean, these guys seem like they won't be back, but who knows how the season plays out and how vital they become to the offense. I mean, maybe that changes things. Hard to say, man. Charles said, that's not true. Eagles be rocking. The toasted corner got sent to the Redskins. Darby is the next topic, guys. Tomorrow will be Darby Day. Get ready. I even started the video and I'm already irritated. Darby was the inventor of burnt toast, in my opinion. I mean, it was bad, man. You know what? I might have to stick to my original thing I said on the video, and it might be insulting to burnt toast to call Darby burnt toast because, man, Darby. Good luck, Redskin fans. That's all I'm going to say. Good luck, Redskin fans, with Darby. If you're a Redskin fan, I highly suggest you tune in to tomorrow's video, just so you know what you're getting yourself into. So, Daniel said the cornerback depth for UFA in 2021 is crazy. There's like 5 CB1s on the market. Who knows if we'll have the money though to do anything there. I think as long as we keep Slay and Slay lives up to expectation, we'll be good for a couple of years. 2, 3 years, I think Slay can hold down the fort. As long as, I mean, you can never project anything, guys, in the league because as quickly as you had that athleticism, it can leave you. That's the horrible thing about this kind of competition in this, this game. I mean, as quickly as you have it, that magic can go. It happens suddenly to good guys. I mean, every year there's a drop off. Charles said, Jalen Williams, we will have possibly 10 picks next draft. I'd have to work through the math and I have to work through the numbers on it, Charles. I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to look at it. Eagles be rocking said Darby's going to make the Redskin fans drink. Charles said they're already drinking. Kayvon, so Jason said Kayvon is going to be something different than you ever seen. I watched too much of his film. He got that dog. That's why I mocked him. Maybe the only guy who did. I did mock him 3rd round. He went 4th. Jason was who put me onto him, to be honest. Jason was the one who brought him up to my radar. And I live in ACC country. I'm out here in North Carolina in Greensboro, guys. Clemson's only a couple-hour drive from me. Like, it ain't far. Eagles be rocking. True that. Jason Wall, got you, bro. No problem. Don't worry about that. Guys, you got to worry about your grammar, man. It's a live stream. Don't worry about that. You ain't writing a college essay, guys. It's all good. Ooh. The goal is the future. Who is the better fit? Rager or Lamb? Fit. The better fit is Rager. I think Rager fits exactly what the Eagles need in the wide receiver core. Lamb, I think, is a very good player, and I think very fortunate Dallas got him where they got him. I don't think he's the greatest fit per se because I think he's going to be competing for snaps. Now, I will say this. Amari Cooper can play the slot, but how often are you going to put a $100 million guy in the slot? I mean, I don't know. I guess they're going to try to match Cooper up, move him around to get the favorable matchups, and maybe Lamb fits their scheme. And that I don't know, guys. I mean, we'll have to see. Like, believe me, I'm going to be keeping an eye on that situation and pulling film on it to see what's going on there. Messiah Armstrong, what's good, bro? Who do you think is going to start opposite of Slay? Also, who do you think is going to contribute the most on defense? Opposite of Slay, the most ideal situation would be for Sidney Jones to start. I think the coaching staff is currently probably projecting it to be Avante Maddox. And I think the outside, opportunity is Trevor Williams. I think Trevor Williams has the most experience out of those 3 guys. And it's just a matter of, is he healthy? So I don't know Trevor Williams' health, so I can't project him there, although I'm keeping an eye on the situation. Sidney Jones, until otherwise proves it, which I believe in Jones's talent. I think the kid is a fast corner. I think in man coverage, I thought he was good. He's got to prove it, though. Until he can prove it, I know Avante Maddox is limited, guys, but until somebody else knocks him out of that position, they moved him out there for a reason. You know what I mean? Somebody else has got to knock him out first. Jalen said, I know we have been focused on the passing game, but I have a theory that our team run defense isn't top 5, but more like 12. I think you mentioned that to me before. I'll take a look into it, Jalen, as I kind of, as I get through some stuff. I'll put that on schedule as a video. It's crazy because Darby's first 2 years with the Bills were decent. Sure enough, his first year with the Bills was exceptional. And then things went down. Yeah. Who knows, man? And I believe Schwartz was the D coordinator his rookie year. I don't know, man. It's hard to explain, sure enough. I don't know what happened to Darby. Darby's the most frustrating guy in the world because he can be in perfect positioning for a ball, but just can't track it. It's crazy, man. It's one of those crazy situations. At Philly Fan D, that was Jason Wall commenting. He said, let me go back up to it, guys. Rager is the better fit. Stats. Rager is that guy that I predicted a CD bust. CD's nuts bust. Funny, Jason. You're very good at the play on word thing, man. Charles said, watching games with Darby as your corner is like your mom scraping the part off toast and telling you to eat it. Charles, I'm not looking forward to tomorrow's video, man, because it's going to be like a therapy session for me. because everything that I've been seeing, I finally get to let you guys see, which I guarantee you guys already know exactly what I'm going to show you. It's just going to be on film, slowed down for you to see it step by step what was happening. Because it's frustrating, guys. Charles said, I'm sorry, Show Enough said, 2021 draft, look out for Dylan Moses and Jabril Cox at linebacker. We could use linebackers, that's for sure. We'll see. We got to see how this crop of linebackers turns out, to be honest. CeeDee Lamb is another Des Bryant. Not a bad comp, actually. And in all reality, Steve is the one that put me on to Rager. Yeah, I was pretty big on Rager, like, honestly, before the season ended. Rager had already crossed my radar. There were a few guys I was debating with because they were saying that Rager is the next Djax. Rager is a crazy good, deep threat. He can track the ball very well, but I don't put him as a Djax type receiver. Although they play the same exact role, they're both very good at tracking the ball. I think Rager is a more impressive, physical specimen, while Djax is a guy that good luck trying to cover him one-on-one. It's almost laughable when teams try to. But that's how he first crossed my radar. Daniel Miner said Dylan Moses looks super good, but Damone Clark from LSU could be the next Patrick Queen, and we could get him in round 3. Sounds good to me. Charles Smith, what do you think about Doug stating Rager will play one position and he will back up Djax? I don't buy it, Charles. I just don't think he wants to reveal what his plans are. I don't buy it. I personally don't buy that statement at all. I just don't think he wants us to know what his plans are. I think Doug sometimes just, he says things maybe as a way of throwing people off. I don't know. Now I got what you meant, Charles. Messiah said, good. Do you think Jalen Mills will be at safety? I think he has the swagger and he's a good open field tackling skills. But other than that, I don't really know much. Will he be in the box a lot? He will be in the box, but not in the same way that Malcolm Jenkins was, I don't think. I think Jalen Mills is really good at following a guy across the field and taking away some of that underneath throw stuff. He can close in windows on zone coverage. I also think he's got pretty good ball skills when you put him in that kind of role. So, I mean, that's where I think he's definitely going to play some safety. Paul said next year's draft could be very interesting. Who knows if college football will have a season? I don't think they are, Paul. It seems unlikely at this point, which is kind of disappointing, but it does seem unlikely right now. Daniel said every time the ball was in the air, Darby was looking at the sun. I don't know what he was looking at, but he wasn't looking at the ball, Daniel. Takeem said Trevor Williams can be this year's Patrick Robinson if he makes the team. If he's healthy, Takeem, I'm interested. I haven't, because we haven't had camps, like, it's really frustrating on that aspect because I can't judge certain guys without the camps. So, he's definitely got my attention. I'm watching it because I do think he's a guy that could sneak up and surprise people, especially if some of these younger guys, or if Rasul just becomes complete and utter trade bait and that's all he is. I think that kid could sneak on because you're not going to keep 1,000,001 slot corners. You're going to need outside guys too. Jason said, when Rager is a star, go back into Gate City Sports archives and see that Steve was the first guy on Rager. Yeah, I was. I was definitely beating the table for Rager pretty early. Sorry, guys, I'm going through some of these. Jalen said, what type of wide receiver do you think we don't have an answer for? I don't think we have a physical wide receiver stopper. That's what I was saying about taking a guy like Rasul Douglas and moving him inside as a nickel. I definitely think if you get into the red zone or you get into like matchup wise to where you need to shut a guy down, I definitely think you can take a Kavon Wallace and move him outside. You can take a Jalen Mills and move him outside. You can take, Will Parks, I think, is definitely physical enough to move outside. And I think he's faster than a Jalen Mills. I definitely think you had to get kind of creative with it. Charles said another question: why our corners aren't taught to push wide receivers out of bounds when they're high pointing the ball instead of jumping? Just push them out. So you're supposed to use your body as a guard to the sideline. Charles, it's a good question. It's probably a technique that they were taught. I was taught the same thing that you're being taught, which I was taught to use your hips and your legs to get into that receiver and try to get his legs out of bounds. So that way you're not getting flagged for pass interference, but you're also taking away the sideline. I don't know why they don't do it, to be honest. I don't know. Deshante Dupree, what's good, bro? How you doing, man? I'm doing good, bro. Messiah said, I'm a TCU fan. So I already knew about Rager. Honestly, I didn't think the Eagles were going to go for the speed manual for speed. Manuel was on the radar, but I didn't think they would get him. I thought he was more of a late rounder. I honestly didn't think Rager was going to be drafted by the Eagles either. I thought he was a great fit for Philadelphia, but I didn't think in my wildest dreams, Messiah, they would draft him. As a matter of fact, Philly Fresh and Philly Mike had to convince me during our live stream, when we were live streaming the draft, that we actually drafted him. And it took all these guys in the comments, they're like, no, Gate, like for real, the Eagles drafted him. For me to actually be like, nah, no way. I was like, nah, no way. You're not bullcrapping me. I thought they were just trying to get me excited to get it on film. They'd be like, nah, we didn't take him. Yeah. Eagles B Rocket said to me, Rager looks a lot like DJ Moore at Beast. I don't know about the DJ Moore comp. I'd have to go in and watch film of it. Eagles be rocking because I haven't broken his film down like that, so I don't really know enough about him to equate that. I definitely think that he's got some of the fight in him of Steve Smith, another Carolina receiver. Steve Smith had in him. Now he's a little bigger than Steve Smith, and I think he's a little more athletically gifted. Steve Smith was just a dude that was all effort, man, all effort. Our screen game is going to be deadly showing up. You know, it's about time showing up because I thought we were kind of lacking last year outside of Dallas Goedert. I think it got a little better as we brought guys in and started using Miles Sanders a little more in the screen game. Um, I definitely think we started to encompass more of the running backs later on in the year in the screen game, and I thought it got a little better. But we'll see with like Boston Scott and those guys. We'll see how that kind of works out. Eagles beat Rockins said Bills were killing Jets and Miami then. He played well against the Pats back then too. Yeah, Darby was good once upon a time. Yeah. So Charles said the Bills had an elite defense and he was defensive rookie of the year. He was. He was defensive rookie of the year at one point. That's what's crazy about his story is that just the drop off. Even in 2017 with the Eagles, I thought he did decently. I thought he was definitely a good corner for the Eagles. And then starting last year, man, I started really having my doubts. He's been declining ever since. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, isn't it, Charles? That your rookie year is the peak. Yeah. Doug hates the press and he trolls them in a condescending, line switching, special kind of way. Yeah, he does, man. He does. Yeah, Dougie P lies about it. He does. I don't believe anything that comes out of Doug Peterson's mouth, man. My thing is I'll watch it on film and see what's going on. I don't trust what he says either, guys. I don't. Not that like I mean, how much is he supposed to give away, really? But at the same time, like we saw it with his coaches. Oh yeah, they'll be back, and then like 24 hours later, they're not. Like it was definitely kind of funny. Shonoff was saying Deshante Dupree is just too much speed, running back screens and wide receiver screens. Yeah, man, we got a lot of speed. We got a lot of guys I think to have very good vision in that role. I definitely think that some of these guys, you put them in that role, you give them some open field. Whew, man, look out. Charles said, part two of my question. There is no force out, so all they have to do is push them out. I'm not speaking as far as coverage. Charles, I don't know why they don't do it. Um, I would have to go back and watch I'd have to go back and see when he was a coordinator and watch the way that Undlin had his guys play as a coordinator to see if it's a scheme thing with him. I don't know, man. It's really hard to say why they don't do it, other than to say that they just don't do it. There's some man, I played with defensive backs, like defensive back coaches that didn't believe in their guys like turn around and looking for the ball. They wanted their defensive backs to just wait until the ball made contact with the receiver's hands and then squat at it. It was crazy to me because that's just not how you play the position. But I mean, I've definitely worked with guys that had that philosophy. It used to drive me crazy, and I just kept my mouth shut and I just didn't say anything. But it definitely irked me. Messiah said, honestly, I thought we were going to get Justin Jefferson at 21. That's what I thought was going to happen too. I was going to be mad. we we don't need another slot receiver. I hate LSU. Also, I feel like he's not a good fit. I definitely think that Justin Jefferson can play, but I don't think that he was the same fit that Rager's is in Philadelphia's offense. Although I do think that Justin Jefferson's route running is being slept on by people. I think he's a very, very good route runner. So Paul said, off subject, are there any Cowboys content creators who do in-depth film analysis and breakdowns like you? Just asking Paul. I don't know if they go to the same extent as me, but I enjoy Law Nation. I don't know if you've ever checked out Law Nation's content, Paul. The Law Nation's pretty good. I mean, I trust that he's knowledgeable. There's been a couple of things here and there and the nuances of things I've disagreed with him on, but I trust that he knows the game. And he does make an effort to incorporate film. He does make an effort to incorporate analytics into his like thoughts. So, I mean, he's definitely a guy that I would suggest. I think he's a decent content creator. I don't know Mark Holmes that well. This is not a shot at Mark Holmes, guys. I just don't know Mark that well. I know Mark played in college, but I don't see a lot of like substance to his stuff. It's more like conversational pieces. I don't see a lot of substance where he's like breaking anything down per se. But in Mark's defense, I don't watch a lot of his content, so I don't know. Maybe I just missed the videos where he does it. I don't know, guys. But I've definitely seen Law Nation do it. Sorry, guys. Daniel said Voch Lombardi does some good stuff. I've heard his name before, Daniel, but I've never watched his content, so I can't vouch for him. But I need to check the first person that's brought that up, Daniel. I do need to check him out and just see. Shonuff said because of our speed, defenses will have to play off a lot of wiggle room. Agree there, Shonuff. It's true. Eagles be rocking. Darby's decline reminds me of an avalanche. Yeah, it's rapid and fast, right? Going downhill. Especially after that bottle thing he was doing, man, shaking my head. Deshante, Mike sent me a clip of that. Bro, I was almost on the ground laughing. I have no clue what he was doing, bro. I mean, he just looked high to me. I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. He must have been real thirsty. I don't know. That was crazy, bro. I never seen anything like that from a coach. He was just so unaware of the moment. It was weird. Why did he have to decline here, though? I don't know. Eagles be rocking. I think some of it has to do with the scheme and the coaching. Deshante said Eagle fans going to be crazy when Rager checks in the game. Yes, sir. I think so too, Deshante. I think that if we're allowed to be in the stands, I think it's going to definitely be crazy. And that's what guys, I'm so hoping we can get in the stands this year. I don't know if it's going to happen, but if it does happen, I got plans to link up with Philly Fresh and get up my boy Philly Mike, and we're going to definitely do some stuff. Might even do a whole week of stuff. I don't know. We'll see. See how early I can get up there. But I'm hoping. I'm hoping, guys. Goodwin is going to do more than what people think. New team, new attitude. Sure enough, I really like Goodwin. I do. I think his personal character is even better than his athleticism. The problem I have with him, man, is he has a extensive injury history and concussion history. And it's not like he's had a couple of years where he got injured in camp. And I just feel like this is a year you cannot get injured in camp or you're going to get cut. That's why I'm hesitant on him, but it has nothing to do with his abilities. That kid's physical abilities are second to no one. I mean, the kid, he's an Olympian. He easily could be in the Olympics. He's remarkable in that aspect. That's all. I'll just keep it at that. He's remarkable in that aspect, and I think he's genuinely a good human being. I just think he's a good guy. Daniel said the whole entire offense is a track meet at this point. It really is. Messiah said, honestly, I can't believe how mad and surprised I was when we drafted Jalen Hurts. It just made no sense to me. It literally took me a week to try to understand it. I still don't fully understand what the heck the Eagles are trying to do. I get the overall aspect of what they're trying to do. I just think it was the wrong round value to do that at. But you know what? Look, it's been made. It's been done. I think Jalen Hurts is one of these guys that he's a good character guy. He's a guy that is competitive, and he's an Eagle. So got to throw the support behind him. You know what I mean? Whatever role he gets to play here in Philadelphia, I hope the kid is lights out. Jason said, I think Doug was waiting for like 5 to bring the screen game. It kind of the bread and butter of Andy Reid's school. Enter Miles, West Staley. Yeah, I got you, bro. Yeah. Yeah, all these guys are pretty. Yeah, all those running backs were really good screen guys. Yeah. And I definitely think that bringing in Miles Sanders is going to be a huge, boost for that type of offense. And you know what? I kind of miss the easy chunk yards from screens, man. It used to set us up so well, man. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up to some of the comments, guys. Steven, that's funny, bro. I just saw that one comment. Sorry, guys. Man, this thing jumped down big time, bro. I'm sorry, guys. Let me read faster through some of this stuff. Oh, snap. A live chat I didn't miss. What's good, Stephen B? Glad to have you in, bro. If Ward doesn't make the team, who are the two? What basically? Who is the 2 deep at the slot? Marquise Goodwin. Oh, good question, bro. Marquise Goodwin. And then I think you see a combo, guys. I think Goodwin would be a natural fit there. Then I think you would see Rager getting snaps in the slot. Djax would get snaps in the slot, and JJ. I think you would have a combo of guys there. Good question. Really good question, Jalen. Eagles be rocking. Law is pretty fair in his analysis. I like him. I like Law Nation a lot. Eagles season. People are now realizing one thing. Not getting CeeDee Lamb was a blessing in disguise. Can't create separation. We need players who can create separation. Good take, Eagles season. I think he's good. Like, CeeDee Lamb's good in certain roles. He just didn't fit the role of the player we needed. It's a good player. I'm not going to take anything away from the kid. By the way, guys, Eagles season. Good young YouTuber, man. I wish when I was this kid's age, I was thinking about this type of thing. Smart kid, good head on his shoulders, guys. Eagles be rocking. Mark sucks. Eagle season, hit me up with a wrench. Got you, Eagle season. I gotta go way up there, Eagle season. All right, Eagle season, you got that wrench, bro. Sure enough, they don't. Cowbum content creators make videos, say stupid and delusional stuff. Yeah, they do. Mark doesn't break down anything. Like I said, I haven't personally called any breakdowns by Mark, but I mean, like I said, maybe I missed. I don't know, guys. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know. Charles, Foles has a son to one up Carson. Just joking. Congrats, Nick, on your baby boy. Glad he was blessed after they suffered their miscarriage last season. Charles, great point. Let me stop at this point and just say congratulations to Nick Foles. Listen, Carson's my guy. I roll with Carson, but Nick will always be an Eagle in the heart of Philadelphia fans. I appreciate the crap out of that guy, and he's just genuinely a good guy as well. Congratulations to him and his wife. I got the little boy to bring up. Maybe a future Eagles quarterback himself. We'll see, as Charles said. Jalen said, for Cowboy breakdowns, look at, is it Vaci or Vici Lombardi? I've heard this kid's name mentioned a couple of times. I don't know him, though. I'm going to go check him out, Jalen, because if you're vouching for him, he must be decent. So I'm going to go check him out. He just yaps about how great Dak is and how bad Wentz is. I mean, it gets some views, man. I mean, some people, they're playing it from the business aspect, and Certain topics lend you more views. Guys, instead of doing an entire breakdown on cornerbacks, it would be in my best interest to just keep pumping out videos about wide receiver because wide receiver is the most watched videos. Straightforward. Wide receivers and running backs are the most watched ones. But me personally, I, if you're genuine and you're putting forth content that has value, I just feel like you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, man. Just people will follow along with you, man. You'll build the community. You know what I mean? Like that's been my goal. But some people do. They make videos specifically to drive the views. I'm not knocking them. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just not the way I do it personally. Steven said you break stuff down and most people only understand a bit of it. Mark seems more of a casual football fan. Yeah, I don't know the guy personally. I know he's really good friends with Philly 500 with Joel, but that's all I really know about him. Good guy though, really nice dude. He seems like a nice guy. I mean, he's a bit of a jokester, but he seems like a nice guy. Jalen said, I don't think Darby was built to be a number one cornerback, but can thrive as a CB2. We'll see. We'll see. Eagles season, yeah, he's been in for a couple of them now, man. Oh, he's been in for a couple now. Good young kid, man. Good content too. I think week 4 through 5, full attendance and stands. I hope. I really do hope, man. Doug was on that Molly. I don't know what he was on, Jason, but whoa, man, that was something to watch, bro, with that water bottle. So I think either we add another offensive lineman / defense lineman or nothing, to be honest. I feel like Deuce likes Miles in Boston, and once he starts seeing more of Warren or Holyfield, he will choose one and leave one on the practice squad. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that, Deshaunte. I think they're waiting to see what happens in camp. I do think they're going to have to sign an offensive lineman, in my opinion. Stephen B in here with the White Claw Black Cherry. I've never drank any of that stuff, Stephen. I can't. I can't say one way or the other. I never drank anything like that. Big Pain said Kevon Wallace could be a better coverage safety than Jenkins. This stage in his career, yes, absolutely. And Kevon Wallace was already pretty good in college. Taylor Williams, he can thrive as CB number 5. That's funny. I like the play on that one. Sorry, guys. Let me catch back up. Buckholder was nice. So was Keith Byers. Eagles be rocking going way back there. Keith Byers, I do remember that. I used to have his card. I don't know if I still do. When I went in the military, guys, I don't know what happened to some of my stuff, man. Don't forget Greg Ward. Yeah, I like Greg Ward, but I mean, I think the question was in relation to if Greg Ward doesn't make, then what do you do at slot? And that's a tough one, man. Kroll Buckhalter, yeah, he had that knee issue though. All right, I missed something with Charles, bro. Ooh, mix the White Claw with cherry Kool-Aid. Never had it. I've never drank White Claw. What is White Claw, guys? I don't know. What am I missing here? Is that like a? I don't know. Is it a liqueur? Is it like a beer? Like what the heck is White Claw? I don't know what it is, guys. I'm very simple in my taste when it comes to alcohol, guys. I prefer darker beers, but Sam Adams is kind of my go-to if I have to drink one. And I'm a bourbon guy. I drink bourbon. Yeah, Stephen B, that won't happen. There's a big chance the season gets cut short. Yeah, that is a possibility, Charles. If Kayvon can do anything as well as Malk, that's a win. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll definitely take that. No problem, Eagles season. I try to speak up for those guys I believe in, man. I think you're a really good young content creator, man. I'll have to grab some tomorrow. I grabbed a case of Black Cherry White Claw. Should have half left tomorrow. Okay. So CD Lamb is JJ 1.5 if you take away the hype. Mark stuff is all opinion. We all got those. Knowledge includes stats and analysis, like here. Yeah, I mean, I just, like I said, I tried to watch a few of his episodes. I thought he was a really nice guy, but I didn't find any substance to what he was saying. Deshanti said our secondary is okay for now. We just have to lock everyone in. I also think because Carson has a kid now, he will start making overall better decisions in his play. A whole new Wentz. Hey, Deshaunte, I'll take it. If the kid puts him into protecting his body better, I'll take it. Jason said CD Lamb's home training video showed very sloppy footwork in the name of speed, but nah, bro. It's funny, man. Hard seltzer. Okay. I get it now. Hard seltzer. Okay, everyone's chiming in on that. Drummer Hoff said at Gate, I would love to see our Eagles content creators collab with podcasts like In the Trenches with Trey Thomas or hashtag Money Train Lane's show. I mean, I would do it in a heartbeat, man, but hard to get guys like, like those guys to come on and do stuff. I mean, hopefully if I got this channel to grow large enough and caught the attention of guys like that, I mean, I would love to do that. That'd be a dream to talk football with guys like that, but you know what I mean? I got to go, Gate City. I'll see you in the Battle Birds podcast. It's all good, Eagle season. See you later, bro. Appreciate you stopping in, man. I'm about to jump off here soon because I went way over where I was supposed to be. Hurt should definitely not see the field in the red zone unless we're leading by a few. Wentz is, in fact, the king of the red zone. Wentz is a good red zone quarterback. I agree. But I mean, I don't think that the way that I would envision it, Louis D, is them taking Wentz off the field in this zone. I just think you're adding Hurts in with Wentz. I missed the days with Vincent Brown, Taylor, and Shepard. Yeah, I hear you, bro. Those were good days. Louis D. All right, everyone can relax. I'm here now. What's up, Louis D? Barry Styles, YGLT. What's good, bro? How comfortable and confident do you feel with the possible scenarios Dougie P will have for Hurts? I personally prefer Hurts isn't used in the red zone because Wentz is so good there. I don't know, Barry Styles. I got to see what they plan on it. I think I like the idea of adding that element to the offense. I just didn't like it where it was selected to be done. But hey, I'm excited to see how they use them. Brinson Bragley, what's good, bro? Just hopped in. Enjoy your breakdowns. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you hopping in, man. Cravon LeBlanc is slept on, I promise. Wawa Bandas. Here's my thing with Cravon, man. You're only going to carry so many slot corners. And the fact that so many of our safeties have slot, abilities, I just think that he could be a casualty. And it's not anything to do with his play. No one's sleeping on him, man. I mean, he's generally a well-liked guy. I just don't. I think that he's fighting an uphill battle because you're not going to let go of Nickel Roby Coleman. Avante Maddox isn't going anywhere. And then you got guys at safety like, Kevon Wallace, you just spent a 4th-round pick on. You got Will Parks, you got, Jalen Mills. You got a lot of guys that can come down and play in that nickel role. I just, I think he's got an uphill battle, man. Deshaunte said our secondary is okay for now. We just have to lock everyone in. I also think because Carson. Oh, yeah, I read that one. My bad, guys. My bad. All right, let me go down some. Hard seltzer. Got you guys. Got you guys. Got you. All right, Stephen B said the Eagles played Jenkins as like a semi-down backer, 17 with his last year. Was his last year where he was actually in his prime. I honestly believe it's a blessing in disguise losing Jenkins. I mean, strictly his speed. Tough, man. It's a tough conversation. Paul said, knowing how everything panned out in the draft, would you have moved up to take CD Lamb? Paul, no, I wouldn't have moved up. I was never on board with trying to move up to target CD Lamb. I don't think he's what the Eagles needed. Now, I will say this. I thought CD Lamb was the only player I thought warranted a top 20 selection because you have to go with true X receivers. Now, if I'm the Cowboys, spending a top 20 pick on a guy that you plan on playing in the slot, that's a bit of a stretch. If you played him at the X, you know what I mean? That's one thing. My philosophy is I only mess with X receivers in the top 20 picks. If you can't play the X and you're an exceptional athlete, I'll catch you around 20 to 32. All right, Stephen B said his anticipation is second to none, and he will be missed as a leader. Sorry, man. White Claws are okay. Gotcha, bro. Gotcha. Jason, you're funny, bro. Maddox, as much as I like him, will have to be number 4 or a spell corner. We'll see. Zeke, this man, she's annoying. Okay. I really want to see Quez Watkins in Midnight Green. Me too. Drummer Hoff, I do as well. Peace out, Eagles be rocking. I'll see you later, Eagles be rocking. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Louis D, Sidney Jones is starting across from Slay. Coleman in the slot. Mills will float from safety to cornerback as needed. We'll see. I don't dislike that lineup. Can you tell me what makes the Eagles system so hard for wide receivers? Is it like the equivalent of the triangle offense or something? I don't think it was the system. I don't. I think it was just flat out coaching. Our team was not that bad in 2018. In 2017, I thought our receiving core was pretty good. 2016, I just think we lacked talent. 2019, coaching was bad, man. We put a guy who had no business as a wide receiver coach as our wide receiver coach. He wasn't ready for that. So if you keep both, sorry, man. It spelled like moth. I was like, what? If you keep both Wentz and Hurts on the field, who is taking off? A wide receiver, a tight end, maybe a running back. Also, I think you're getting the message randomly or backwards. No, I'm trying to skip through it and get to people that I haven't answered any questions for yet, Louis D. Probably would take a tight end off. It just depends on where the down and distance is. I would probably go with more of a 2-back set, using Hurts as a running back. Look, there are some plays you're just not going to want to expose Wentz to being, to hits. If the Eagles really feel confident that they can get the ball in there with Hurts on an option type play, use Hurts on an option play. That would be the only time I take Wentz off. But honestly, I'm not a guy who's a big believer in pulling Wentz and number one, taking him out of rhythm of the offense. But then number two, taking a guy who's really good in the red zone and pulling him off. I mean, Paul, I appreciate you, bro. Gabe, can you break down CD versus Rager or even Judy if you have time? Yeah, I can do something like that. I guess Charles's day of reckless drinking is done. I expect big things from Ertz this season with the speed outside. I agree. I think opening that middle of the field. I'm really curious. Will defenses still try to bracket Ertz and use corners on Ertz? Because if you do, if I'm the Eagles, I'm going 11 man, and I'm trying to take one of these receivers and hope you're foolish enough to put a linebacker on him. It's going to be interesting. I think Goddard and Ertz can both have really big seasons this year with what we've added. I think it's going to be a lot harder to bracket these guys. Sure enough, we don't really have an OC. Doug's the OC, basically. So the way it's going to work out is our quarterback coach has the passing game coordinator title. So he will help construct some of the passing game stuff. He's basically Press Taylor is basically filling in and taking over the role that we had last year for our OC. The OC was always just kind of a title with a meaningless title with Doug. Barry Styles, appreciate you, bro. Drummer Hawk can get a wrench gate. Of course, bro. Absolutely. All right, Drummer Hawk, you got a wrench, buddy. I'm going to read from my phone, guys. It's just easier to see it all and move quicker. CeeDee Lamb is T.Y. Hilton. He's good, and he has big play potential. I like that comp, Daniel. I'd have to go in and look at it, but I like the comp. The middle of the field would be opening a lot. I agree, Stephen B. It's going to be open. It's going to be wide open now. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to make sure I catch everybody's comments real fast. Charles Smith, grain of salt, my guy. I mostly say things for people to laugh at. I'd split a 6-pack of White Claw with you on my dime any day, bro. I don't know what White Claw even is. You guys just told me it was like a seltzer thing. I'll have to try it out. But guys, like I said, I'm more of a brown beer guy, but I can rock with that. I'll try it out. So what's Press Taylor's job? He's the quarterback's coach, and he's going to help design running games or passing game stuff. If they try to bracket him, they would pay. I agree. That's a big point, man, and I agree on that. Stephen B, it will be so interesting. I'm waiting to see what they try to do, especially with Djax on the field. Oh, man. I'm waiting, man. If Djax can stay healthy, I hope teams try to bracket Ertz. Give me Rager and Djax, Ertz and Goddard, and bracket Ertz. I just got a feeling this team would pick you apart. Doug is just Doug is the stalling. I mean, OC. Jalen said, "Do you think we'll play more man because of Slay, or still play zone because of everyone else?" So my understanding, Jalen, is we're going to be playing a little more man this year, and that has to do with Markin Manuel. We'll still see some cover three. You're going to still see some cover three, but I do expect to see more man. We were a high zone team last year. I mean, one of the more likely teams to play zone. Definitely, I think we were definitely top 10 zone wise, and it might have been more than that, to be honest with you. Higher than that. Show Knife, Red Stripe, best beer, Red Stripe. Yeah. Anytime I go to like a Jamaican restaurant, anything like that, man, I drink Red Stripe. I won't lie. It's good beer. Yeah, if we can ever get 10 to 12 games out of Djax, it's going to be crazy. Yeah, I agree. You just got to get that kind of production out of them, man. Yeah, we got a lot of plan Bs this year, drummer. We got a lot of plan Bs. It's a good idea, though, man, because we can't go down with the speed thing again. That hurt the offense way too much. Want our quarterbacks to press more this year. Me too. I don't know if they'll do it, but I'd like to see that. Really have the potential to be scary good on offense. We just need to stay healthy. I agree, Paul. We do. We do need to stay healthy, and we do have a lot of potential. Bashir, what's good, my guy? Yo, Gate, just woke up, bro. Bashir, what's good, my guy? It's great, Charles, but not the normal Modelo. Okay, you guys talking about beer. Delicious. All right, guys, I'm going to hang in here for a few more seconds. If you guys want to ask a couple final questions, then I'm going to bounce, guys. It's been almost an hour and 45 minutes. I was trying to keep this to an hour, but as you guys probably could have predicted, I went too long. Oh, well. It was designed to stretch the field. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in, guys. I'll read them as they kind of pop up. Bashir, just hit us up, man. Bashir, one of these days, bro, we're gonna have to do a live together, man. So just hit me up, man. We'll do something outside of the Battle Birds podcast as well. Because you could definitely, make the rounds with like me, Mike, Fresh, everybody. We'll put you on, man. What defense you see us primarily using? Stephen B, I think we're gonna see a lot of nickel in general, but big nickel in particular. And I think you'll see a lot of cover one, but on obvious running downs, I think you'll see us in cover three. Daniel, I appreciate you, bro. All right, guys, you already know how I end these videos. I do a little EAGLES. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I got to get to it, man. Got some other stuff to do, but man, I appreciate y'all hanging out, chilling. Y'all came in late because I didn't even think I started this thing until like 9:05. So, man, I appreciate y'all almost hanging with me till 10 o'clock, man. All you guys that are coming, and watching these lives and stuff, guys, man, it's much appreciated, guys. I really do appreciate y'all. Drummer Hoff, that's big praise, man. I appreciate you, bro. Later show enough. I had no problem, Stephen B. Always enjoy it, bro. Later, Charles Smith. Yo, real quick, Douglas McLeod, first rounder for Adams. Louis D, the only problem I would have with that particular trade scenario, and Adams is a phenomenal player. He's a strong. I still think we lack a free if we do that. I think we make the free safety position even worse because now you're going to have to hope you're going to either have to move a guy like Mills over to free, or you're going to have to move like a Parks over to free or Avante. But I mean, I would definitely consider that trade. I would. All right, Charles, bye, bro. I appreciate you stopping in, man. If you look for more spots, wheelchair basketball is on. It's interesting. I probably would watch it at this point. Jalen, peace out, guys. All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys, man. Y'all the best. I'll see y'all tomorrow, guys.